God-given talent is only going to get you so far, and hard work always trumps talent. So, Cooper, he loves baseball, and like I've been waiting in the wings. Like my dad was awesome. He did not push baseball onto me or my brothers. We found our love for that on our own, and as much as I had been chomping at the bit to teach and start going through baseball with Cooper, he actually took to football first. Mm-hmm. He was doing flag football through our church programs and stuff, and he was all football. And I'm like, okay, this is cool. I can get on board. And then through a friendship through Evan Longoria, and he played for the Giants, the Devil Rays, the Giants, and then the Diamondbacks. But they're family friends, and just through Cooper, I think meeting him and seeing that level, because obviously Cooper wasn't around for me playing, and what I did in Europe does not compare to what Longo did over here, right? But I think Cooper seeing that really ignited that love for him, and then he comes to me and he goes, Dad, I want to stop football and I want to do baseball, and like backflips in my head. Let's go, right? So so we were able to go through that with him, and he's going through the slumps and the struggles and the learning new stuff, and I was just sharing before this started that, he comes to me and he's like, Dad, I want this to work out. Like, this is my dream. I want to be a ball player. He's like, but I just don't feel like I'm getting there. And I'm like, well, what are we doing? Right. And so we kind of went through that, and we put in a plan, and, the 10,000 hour rule is a big one. Right. Mm-hmm. So, that was a big one for me growing up. I read all those books, and like, I really tried to adopt that mentality. And, so I started teaching him that, and I'm like, hey, 100 swings in the morning, get up a little bit earlier, right? I'm like, well, Dad, I'll be tired. And it's like, well, go to bed earlier then. What are you doing at night? Well, I'm watching TV. Okay, what's more important? Watching TV at 9:00 at night, or go to bed at 8:30 and get up half an hour earlier and do 100 swings off of your tee. So he did that, and then he comes home from school, another 100 swings off the tee. Then he goes to practice. Then he's doing band work and things like that. And literally, I mean, it's so awesome that the timing, the way this happened. But so he's on a travel ball team as well as his little league team, and within 7 to 10 days of him doing this routine stuff, goes and hits his first out of the park home run. Like it was so awesome. Yeah, so I've got his first home run baseball right next to my WSOP ring. Like I'm so proud. I'm so proud of that home run. That's so sick. So it was just like, and it was kind of a told you so. Like, and it was great, and it kind of solidified that. So he's on a roll.
I can't think of a better lesson at 12. You know? I mean, I remember for me, I was like, I really wanted to play basketball, and I wasn't very good for a period of time. And I didn't really have anybody to teach me like you did. So I was just like, I'm going to do 500, 1,000, like however many form shots a day I can do. And I remember from like my freshman to my sophomore year, I got a lot better. And then I made varsity, and like then I became all conference as a sophomore. And I remember there was one game, I'm sitting there, I'm like watching everything. Coach took me out for a quick break, and I'm like, oh my God, all of that hard work I did got me here. I get goosebumps thinking about
years
it.
Years later, yeah.
Because that lesson that you can, and as a man, God, I can't think of a more important lesson than giving your son the ability to connect effort with result.
Yeah.
And if you can anchor that in, fuck man, they can do anything.
Yeah.
And to anchor that short of a time window, right? Because 7 to 10 days is like kind of outlier, right?
Oh no,
but
it's
cool.
I was
like,
God, thank you. Like that is so perfect. Like that will stay with him.
Because so often it is the reps and the work and putting in the early days and the late nights, and it takes time, and it could be a year or 2 years until you actually see the reward.
Yeah.
Right. And a lot of guys quit because it's like, fuck, I'm putting in the work, but it's not happening. It's like, well, it needs to be a longer time horizon most times to actually see the results, and people give up.
Yeah.
Cooper fortunately got some results in 7 to 10 days.
Yeah, right.
But hopefully he anchors in the same mindset, right?
Yeah.
Put in the work, get in the reps,
right.
Get up early, stay up late, whatever it takes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
no.
Dude, I love that.
No, and it's good too, because then we had a setback. So literally hits that home run. And so that weekend, I want to say he went like 5 for 6 that weekend with a home run, a ground rule double, another double, couple of singles, some RBIs. Like he had a great.
What are you feeding this kid, bro?
Right?
He's eating his protein. He's eating his protein, bro. Let's go.
We had this conversation. So that happens, and then like a week later, he fractures his ankle or fractures the bottom of his foot, pops the growth plate open, and has a medium ankle sprain. So he's in a walking boot right now, and now we're back to the down and why has this happened? And so now it's like back into the life lesson side of things, and it's like, okay, well, God is giving you an opportunity here. Like we can't look at this as a setback, right? This stops you in what you were doing right now, But, you know, one of the things that we knew that he needed to work on, so Coops is a catcher, which I love because catching was like, that was my passion, but because I was left-handed, I had to give it up. And so I was always like, man, if I have a right-handed kid, if I have a right-handed son, he's going to play third base or catcher for sure. And like, I didn't even push that on him, and he just loved it. And like, it's great back there for anybody who caught in Little League or high school, right? You're back there, you're controlling the game, right?
Yeah.
But one of the things that is holding him back is his arm strength. And it's not so much the strength, it's the angle that he's throwing right now. So, you know, sat down with him and you know, there's tears and upset and, you know, I can't play and like, what am I going to do? And it's like, okay, well, you know, God's giving you an opportunity here now. Like we kind of figured out what you need to do with the hitting and stuff. So we can shelve that for a second, but it's your ankle, right? And the weakest part of your game is your arm slot. So let's work on that. Let's focus on that. And so, you know, again, teaching life lessons, and it's almost like you know, if you're given lemons, right? It's like, you know, look at it as what can I do here to grow and be better even when there's this massive setback. So now it's just focusing on that arm strength, right? And I kind of broke it up. I was like, hey, you go to practice and, you know, there's 30% throwing and 30% hitting and 30% fielding and, you know, 10% whatever. But it's like now we've got an opportunity to go 100% arm strength. Like for the next, you know, 4 to 8 weeks, you know, is what we've been told. He has another X-ray in a couple of weeks. We can focus on your arm strength. Like how awesome is your arm going to be in 8 weeks time? And then we'll apply all the other stuff that we've learned and done when you're ready to hit the field, you know, and go full throttle again. So yeah, lots of life lessons, and man, being a parent, it's
so great.
just,
Get ready.